अल्लाहु अकबर, अल्लाहु अकबर। अशहदु अल्ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह, अशहदु अल्ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह, अशहदु अन्ना मुहम्मदर रसूलुल्लाह, अशहदु अन्ना मुहम्मदर रसूलुल्लाह। हय्या अलस्सलाह, हय्या अलस्सलाह, हय्या अलल फलाह, हय्या अलल फलाह। अल्लाहु अकबर, अल्लाहु अकबर। ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह। الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
استووا يرحمكم الله. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. Allahu Akbar. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulihil Kareem. Amma ba'd. So continuing the hadith from the 40 hadith of Shah Waliullah Delhi, we have a few more short hadith again. These are short and perhaps just 3 words or so in the Arabic. So I did 2 the last time, and so the third one, and Abi Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, عن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال المؤمن مرآة أخيه المؤمن. The Prophet ﷺ said, and this is reported by Abu Hurairah, and of course it's in authentic sources. A Muslim is the mirror of a Muslim. A Muslim is a mirror of a Muslim. It's also part of a longer hadith, but we will content ourselves with this part alone, which is what Shah Waliullah quoted. So a believer, actually the word believer is used instead of Muslim, the word al-mu'min. Believer is the brother, is the mirror of his brother believer. So when a believer looks at another believer, he should be seeing himself. What he sees in the other person should be a reflection of himself in terms of his character and his dealings and interaction with people and so on. So one sees in the mirror, you can see your maybe perfections as well as imperfections. That is only physically. But the believer being the mirror of the brother means you're seeing the character, your own character should be reflecting. And that is, of course, the best character. All believers should be, on the best of characters. So you see your perfection. Also, if you see any imperfections in him, note that you may also have those same imperfections. So you help him to get rid of those imperfections, just as he should be able to help you to get rid of your imperfections. And so you help each other to become better and better. So that is what a mirror does. When you look at yourself and you see something that you don't like in the mirror, you try to rectify that. You comb your hair and you comb your beard and so on and so forth, right? So in a similar way, the believer reflecting the other believer, and so we help each other to remove all of the imperfections. So this hadith also shows, concern for each other. Believers should be concerned for one another, and they should correct one another and remove each other's faults and so on. So that is one. The other hadith, which would be the 4th hadith in the book, عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم المستشار مؤتمن. This hadith is compiled by Tirmidhi. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu said that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, one whose advice is sought is in a position of trust. The one whose advice is sought is in a position of trust. 2 words alone in Arabic, al-mustasharu mu'taman. Again, it's part of a longer hadith, but this part in itself, it's a statement in itself, and has a lot of meaning behind it. If there is someone that people go to for advice, that individual has to be somebody of trust, because he is in a position of trust, right? He is in a position of trust. If somebody comes to you, and just think of yourself in that position, if somebody comes to you seeking advice from you, then immediately you become someone who is in a position of trust. So how do you discharge this trust that is now placed upon you? First of all, you give sincere advice. The person asks for advice and you give him advice. In fact, this is one of the duties that Muslims have towards each other. In other hadith, the Prophet mentioned 5 or 6 duties that Muslims have with each other. وَإِذَا اسْتَنْصَحَكَ فَانْصَحْ لَهُ. When he seeks your advice, nasiha, then give him nasiha, give him advice. So the advice must be sincere, in accordance with what he is asking for, and so on. But the other thing, there is much more to it than that. If a person comes to you, perhaps he confides in you. He tells you something and he doesn't want to be disclosed to others. So you are in a position of trust. And therefore, you should not disclose that to others. Do not disclose his secrets, which he may confide in you. And a third matter is somebody may come seeking advice from you concerning a matter, maybe an investment. It can be otherwise also. A person is looking to get married and he comes asking you about, a particular sister, whether she's, she's good or whatsoever, and should he get married to her? Here again, you have to you have to be sincere in how you deal with this person. Uh, Perhaps you go, after you hear this secret he has, right? Maybe you go behind his back. People do that sometimes. They go behind that person's back. If it's an investment that he's talking about, you hasten before him to make that investment, or to make that purchase or something like that, right? Beating him to it, which you should not have done, because he came to you for advice whether he should invest or whether he should purchase that thing or not, right? You should not go ahead of him and purchase it, or do the investment if it would harm him. If it would harm him, like he may not have the chance to do it if somebody else beats him to it, right? So if you do it, you are betraying that trust that he placed in you. And similarly, this is a nice girl. He wanted to get married to her and so on, but maybe you tell him something just for him to stop thinking about her, and you go and ask for her hand in marriage and so on, right? Things that in a variety of ways, people betray each other's trust. A third hadith, again, not very long. Anas radiallahu anhu narrated this hadith. He said, Atan Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam rajul, a man came to the Prophet sallallahu yastahmiluhu, seeking to get transportation from him. He didn't have any transportation. He needed transportation. And of course, in those days, it would be a horse, a donkey, a camel, or something like that, right? فَلَمْ يَجِدْهُ عِنْدَهُ. And the Prophet said that he didn't have anything to give him. And he said, go to such and such a person. And he went to him, فَحَمَلَهُ, and he gave him the means of transportation. فَأَتَى النَّبِيَّ صلى الله عليه وسلم فَأَخْبَرَهُ. The man came back to the Prophet and told him, yes, I found what I needed. فَقَالَ إِنَّ الدَّالَ عَلَى الْخَيْرِ كَفَاعِلِهِ. And here's where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, one who guides the good is like the one who does the good. That person who told you something good, gave you the transportation or whatever, right? He did something good for you. You benefit from it, and so on. He will also get the rewards for it. A person who guides others towards something good will get the benefit from it. This hadith, of course, narrated by different muhaddithin. And sometimes the wordings are somewhat different, slightly different, but basically meaning the same thing. This is the part that Shah Waliullah quoted, "Ad-dallu ala al-khayri kafa'ili." The one who guides others to something good, is like the person who actually does it. That person acts upon the advice from this first person, and he gets a benefit of it and so on. He gets maybe blessings from it, and the first person gets the rewards also from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this can be not just in worldly things. Maybe we're thinking of worldly things. A person comes and asks your advice concerning something, or maybe you say that he needs it, and you told him, go and do such and such, and there will be such benefits for you. But it is not just in material things or worldly matters. It is also in religious matters. If you guide a person on performing his salah, you tell him, remind him it is time it is time for salah, come, let's go and pray, and so on. Or you show him how to pray, and you show him the other Islamic things that he should do. You teach him how to recite Quran or anything else. In other words, you're showing him the paths to goodness, right? From which he will get rewards. All of those rewards will also go to you, inshallah. So this is a very strong encouragement for us to teach others, for us to tell people what is always look for opportunities to tell people to do what is good. Jazakumullah khair. Wassalamu alaikum.